A 5-year-old boy, missing for days, found dead in the dense woods less than 2 miles from his home. The search for young Joshua McCoy had ended in heartbreak. Police vehicles and search crews crowded the scene, and the quiet community stood in shock. But how did a child so full of life end up dead in such a remote area? What went wrong? To truly understand the depth of this tragedy, we need to rewind and take you back to where it all began. But before we dive in, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more stories like this. Now, let's unravel the events leading to that tragic discovery. Just days before that grim discovery, Hauser was its usual sleepy self. The weekend had just begun, and families were enjoying a break from their busy schedules. But for one family, what started as a quiet Saturday afternoon would soon turn into a nightmare that would haunt them forever. It all began when Joshua McCoy, a curious 5-year-old boy with a bright smile, was reported missing. His mother, exhausted from a long week, had laid down for a nap that afternoon, thinking Joshua would stay safely occupied indoors. But when she woke up around 5:30 p.m., she realized that the house was unusually quiet. "Joshua! Joshy!" she called, her voice echoing through the empty halls. But there was no answer. Panic set in as she searched every room, her heart racing faster with each passing second. The backyard, the neighbors' yards, everywhere she looked, Joshua was nowhere to be found. With trembling hands, she dialed 911. The Coos County Sheriff's Office responded immediately, dispatching patrol cars, drones, and K-9 units to begin the search. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the town, neighbors joined in the search. Flashlights flickered in the growing darkness as volunteers combed through nearby fields and woods, calling Joshua's name. The sheriff's office brought in reinforcements from state and federal agencies. A massive search effort was launched, with helicopters buzzing overhead, search dogs sniffing through the dense underbrush, and drones scanning the area for heat signatures. But as the hours turned into days, hope began to fade. On the third day of the search, everything came to a heartbreaking end. A volunteer, part of the search team that had been combing through the thick woods, stumbled upon a small figure lying motionless in a dense thicket. The search team held their breath as they realized who it was. Joshua McCoy, the little boy everyone had been desperately searching for. His tiny body was found less than 2 miles from his home, hidden among the trees. Authorities quickly sealed off the area, turning it into a crime scene. Sergeant Christopher Gill, a spokesperson for the sheriff's office, delivered the tragic news to the media that evening. It is with immense sadness that we have to report that missing Joshua McCoy has been found deceased. The town of Hauser was left reeling. How could this have happened? How did Joshua end up so far from home? And more importantly, was this just a tragic accident, or was there something more sinister at play? Earlier that fateful Saturday, Joshua was full of energy. The sun was shining, and he was excited to play with his favorite toys. His mother, feeling drained after a hectic week, decided to take a short nap. She was used to Joshua playing quietly in the living room while she rested, but unbeknownst to her, Joshua, who had been diagnosed with autism, had a tendency to wander off when something caught his curiosity. At some point during her nap, Joshua slipped out of the house. Whether he was chasing after a butterfly or simply exploring the nearby woods, no one will ever know. When his mother woke up and realized he was missing, it was already too late. According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, children with autism are at a much higher risk of wandering from safe environments, often drawn to places that are dangerous, such as bodies of water or construction sites. Joshua's mother was well aware of this, which is why the realization that he had vanished filled her with dread. The sheriff's office wasted no time launching a full-scale search. As the hours stretched into the night, flashlights flickered through the dense Oregon woods. Search dogs picked up a scent trail but lost it near a pond on the property. In a desperate attempt to find him, authorities even drained the pond, but to no avail. The search teams used thermal imaging cameras, hoping to detect any signs of life among the thick trees and underbrush. Volunteers from nearby towns poured in to help, driven by the hope of finding Joshua alive. But as the hours turned into days, the mood shifted from hopeful to grim. Social media was flooded with posts about Joshua, as pictures were shared thousands of times, with messages from strangers praying for his safe return. The entire community was on high alert, but the longer Joshua remained missing, the more people feared the worst. After Joshua's body was found, the investigation took a new turn. Authorities were tight-lipped about the circumstances of his death, stating only that the case was still under investigation. The discovery of his body, so far from home, raised troubling questions. Had Joshua wandered off on his own, or had someone lured him away? Detectives interviewed neighbors, family members, and anyone who might have seen something suspicious. But despite their efforts, there were no immediate answers. The sheriff's office remained cautious, refusing to comment on whether they suspected foul play. Right now, we are treating this as a tragic incident, Sir Jail told reporters. However, we are keeping all options open as we continue to investigate. The grief that enveloped Joshua's mother was palpable. She was overwhelmed with guilt, questioning whether there was something she could have done to prevent his death. Friends and family rallied around her, trying to provide comfort, but nothing could fill the void left by Joshua's absence. At a candlelight vigil held in Hauser's Town Square, dozens of people gathered to honor the memory of the little boy who had captured their hearts. Tearful parents held their children close, reflecting on the fragility of life and the importance of keeping loved ones safe. The flickering candlelight danced in the cold evening breeze as the town prayed for answers. As the investigation continued, the people of Hauser were left with more questions than answers. The sheriff's office remained tight-lipped, fueling speculation among residents. Some believe Joshua's death was simply a tragic accident, a result of his wandering tendencies. Others feared something more sinister was at play, an abduction gone wrong, or worse. Social media was ablaze with theories and accusations. Some criticized Joshua's mother, questioning how she could have fallen asleep while her son, known for wandering, was left unattended. Others defended her, pointing out that she was a single mother doing her best. The sheriff's office urged the public to remain patient and let the investigation take its course. Weeks have passed since Joshua McCoy was found, and the investigation is still ongoing. The sheriff's office has not confirmed whether they believe foul play was involved, leaving the community in a state of uncertainty. As authorities continue to piece together the final moments of Joshua's life, his story remains a haunting reminder of the dangers that can strike when least expected. The people of Hauser have come together to support Joshua's family, but the shadow of his death still looms large over the town. Until the truth is uncovered, they will continue to wonder, how did Joshua's life end in such a tragic way, and could it have been prevented? If you were moved by Joshua's story, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications for more heart-wrenching stories like this one. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Was this a tragic accident, or do you believe there's more to the story than we know? Your opinions matter to us,